and welcome to this very special episode of Aliens and Stuff. We are in the podcast studio to talk about this one, and I thought we would open the day of filming that we've got today with a little bit of information about the UFO report that's just been released, or lack of report. I don't know how we want to talk about it, really, everybody, but considering they've had, 100 and how many days to come up with this?
It's been a long time.
The fact that it's 9 pages long, I think
it's a
says
bit
it all.
blasé, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So to give everyone a bit of a background, if you haven't watched or been keeping an eye on what's been going on, during the Congress's kind of creation of the COVID bill, they dropped in there that they wanted to know a little bit more about UAPs, which is...
Unidentified Aerial Phenomena.
Thank you, Spencer. Or UFOs to this out there that think and still want to use the word UFO. I prefer UFOs.
I don't know why they changed it. I mean, I guess it's contextual.
Marketing.
It's marketing.
So they released, Congress told all of the black projects and 3-letter agencies that they needed to tell all of us what they know about UFOs.
Absolutely.
So what do they know about UFOs? Because you've read the report. Spencer, I'm going to go to you first on this one.
What do they know about UFOs or UAPs? Absolutely nothing. So I mean, it's one of those things where I mean, a lot of people were expecting this massive disclosure to happen. I mean, I saw all over Facebook they're saying, it's 11 days, it's 10 days, it's 9 days. Everybody thought something massive was going to come.
They released it late. And they said they were going
to. It was
to.
late, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They released it like a week late, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe they had a change of heart and just skipped it from 100 pages down to 9.
Maybe they added another couple of words onto that 9-page document that they came up with.
I mean, basically, they hyped it up to be this massive disclosure, and a lot of people were thinking that there was going to be, Area 51 operation photos and, photographs of Ebens that they'd encountered and all of this. And what did we get? We got a lovely multiple-page document with a bunch of black and white text basically saying there's 140 whatever sightings and we don't have a clue what they are. That was it.
It's a very it's a brief overview, and I did always say this. I always said if they're not going to come out and say, yeah, we're being visited in a document. It was never going to happen.
They're never going to say it's aliens, are they?
But also, in summary, you read the document and actually it is, like you said, there are UAPs flying around, UFOs, whatever you want to call them, and effectively we don't know what they are. They might be, other governments from other countries might have experimental craft and whatever. But then they also say it's not a national security risk. But some of the things that are actually explained in there,
they are a national security risk.
Yeah, it's a national security risk.
It's funny, and do you know what I've done here? I've sat here and I've gone, all right, boys, and I've completely forgotten to talk to Lucy. But Lucy, welcome to the show. For those of you that don't know, Lucy will be joining us for a few shows every now and again because I like her perspective on UFOs.
It's changed actually a lot.
Really? Well, you changed opinion?
I used to believe everything I read, and then you guys started your show, and then now I'm more sceptical than ever.
Oh, well, thanks.
I'm exactly the same.
So am I.
I'm like, yes, this is all absolutely true. And
I'm
it's
worse.
Like, no, it's not.
Yeah, I would say I've become less skeptical as we've started doing the show. But the report, just cycling it back, it was, I mean, it was very kind of rudimentary stuff. But you've got to look at, and this is the important thing, you've got to look at the implications of it. So yes, we weren't, but a lot of people were expecting like this whole blow up of information, and we didn't quite get that. But at the same time, you've got to look at it and go, well, finally, they've released an official report actually saying, look, we don't know what these things are. We're very confused. And I mean, in a way, that's kind of massive, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's an acknowledgement, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's no longer a cover-up of it was swamp gas, it's a weather balloon, it's...
Yeah, but you say that about weather balloon. You know what they... In page, I think it was 4 or 5, when they put a list of things that they think sometimes we confuse for UFOs... The first thing that they put on the list was weather balloon.
Which is
Did
ridiculous.
you notice that?
No, which is ridiculous, because if you think about it, if it's not your weather balloon, right? I mean, how can a weather balloon from China get to the United States or whatever? Yeah, but I know, but it's a weather balloon.
Well, it's kind of like when they used to
do the things that they describe.
They used to say, "Oh, yeah, it's a Chinese lantern." You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, come on, guys.
I
Like,
saw a
you know,
Chinese lantern the other day, and my first thought was UFO. But then we do a UFO show.
Well,
so you know.
But I think you mentioned like a lot of people will count down saying, "Oh, look, disclosure is coming. This report's going to reveal all and everything else." Those are the people that will post pictures they found online and
What,
say,
you mean Jeremy
"Explain
Corbell?"
this." Yeah, but be like, explain this, and it'll be like, I'm looking at it again. It's clearly a reflection in a window from behind you, or something
Yeah.
like, and those are the people that literally will believe anything. Like you said, Lucy.
Yeah.
Read this, wow, amazing, and you immediately believe it, and then you look into it and you do your research like we've done, and then you're like,
What were you expecting that they were going to say, Lucy?
Kind of what they've already said, to be honest. I think, why tell us now that aliens exist?
I suppose it doesn't make sense for them to tell us.
No,
now.
I don't think so. But it doesn't make sense that it's Russia or China either.
No, I think
No.
it's a very open slate. And
It
it's
could be
getting
anyone.
people. So if disclosure is happening, it's going to be a very long, drawn out process. And this is like you kind of like your step one. It is.
So you think it's
there
drip feeding, do you?
Yeah, it's drip feeding. Well, because
Yeah,
they
it is.
didn't turn around and say that it definitely wasn't.
No.
They just turned around and said, we don't know what it is. And I think an admittance and not a cover-up saying it is, swamp gas or weather balloon, whatever, like for everything, and trying to explain away everything like they used to do in the Blue Book days. This is more of a...
That's Project Blue Book for those of you that don't know.
This is, okay, well, we don't really know. We suspect it could be this, but... And it's, it's up there. So they can't turn around in 10 years' time if there is a disclosure, say, well, we did say we didn't know what they were, and now we do know what they are.
It's kind of conditioning us maybe for something down the line that they're going to come out with and say. I mean, do you know what I find funny? We'll sit there and go, oh, imagine if it's like Russia or China. Imagine if it's like someone like Mexico or Greenland or the Falklands.
Yeah. Iceland have got an absolutely wicked space program in secret.
Do you know what? I find it funny though, because obviously you're talking about acknowledgement, and obviously we've all seen Unacknowledged, the Stephen Greer film. And yeah, I mean, this is the whole point, isn't it? That Stephen was getting to about how it was an unacknowledged phenomenon, and now it's been acknowledged. But is this potentially part of a sort of deep state drip feed into a potential fake alien attack or alien invasion to basically Dr. Manhattan everyone? And
I don't believe in that approach.
No,
at all.
okay.
I don't
But
believe in that
annoyingly,
approach
though,
at all. I can't see how it makes sense.
I agree with you, Tom, but annoyingly, it is kind of fitting with what Stephen Greer was going to tell us was going to happen.
it is.
It is feeding into what he said. He's not been wrong about this so far. And I'm not saying that I support what Dr. Greer has been saying.
Yeah.
But it is feeding into what he's been telling us for a while.
Okay, well, so let me ask you this, right? Do you think this report overall was a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it was a good thing because, once again, it's an actual acknowledgement that there are things out there that the United States government doesn't understand. They're not going out there and trying to say it's all weather balloons like they used to. They're not going out there and trying to blame it on foreign nations to try and create some sort of worldwide war. They're going out there and they're going, we don't have a clue what this is. It's not, it's not behaving like it should. It's not responding to the normal laws of physics. There's something like 140 something sightings there that they literally cannot explain. And it ain't geese. And it ain't weather balloons.
It might be a balloon with a candle on it.
Geese was an excuse they used.
It was an excuse that they used, with the previous Pentagon release videos. But I do think, although that's an interesting question, just cycling forward a little bit, did you guys see the new Jeremy Corbell footage that was put out?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on that? Because
grainy footage of lights in the sky again.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jeremy.
You can't
keep up the good work, buddy.
Yeah, it's open to interpretation for sure. But we did that live event on YouTube with
Brief History of Mysteries.
That's
Jamie
Brief
Rickson,
History, that's
great
the one.
guy.
Great
when we did
podcast,
that,
actually.
which was like 2 weeks before the release, which was on, and I turned around and said it will be a very brief document, and it will be an overview, and it won't be an admittance or a denial of anything. And I said that
Yeah, you were right.
because we were taught, because everybody
I
kept
hate
going
to admit this, but you were right. Yeah.
So I'm happy.
I bet
because
you are,
it's a
'cause you're
step-
right.
No, not because I was right. Mate, I would have been happy if they turned around and said, yes, aliens exist, but that's never going to come out of the document. However, I do think it is a step in the right direction.
Lucy?
Have they actually said it's China and Russia, or they don't know?
They've
What
said they
they
don't
actually
know.
said's fact.
They don't know what it is. That's all they've said.
They said it could be,
So-
but they don't know. So it could be China, could be Russia, could be aliens. Who knows? They don't know. That's the thing. It literally is like saying all of these things, but we don't know what it is.
So to me, it's pointless then if you don't know.
No, but traditionally,
Basically, yeah.
no, it's a very good point. But traditionally, they would always try and turn around and say, okay, it's definitely not UFOs, it's definitely not aliens, we're not being visited. You know, anybody who says that is a kook. Rather than now, they're like,
If it is like a foreign country, I think that's more worrying though. Because
I agree.
how do
I
we
agree.
not know they're doing that? And also, that's not drip feeding if it's them.
yeah.
Because you can't. The whole point of drip feeding is slowly getting us into aliens are coming. But if it's not them, what are they drip feeding us for?
Well, it could be, and
Well, that's worrying.
feeding off that point though. What it could be is maybe they do know what it is, and that the foreign countries have got this technology, but they also have this technology, and they're trying to sort of
It's
play
a
a game
stalemate.
of 4-dimensional
You know what?
chess.
That's a
Yeah.
very good point.
And
It's a
they're- and
double
they're-
bluff.
Yeah, so they're basically going, oh, we don't know what this is, when they've actually got that technology. Bob Lazar. And
And Dr. Greer says we
But no,
have it.
it's a very
it's
good point,
very
because
good point.
if advances in science have been made in certain areas, let's say by the US and then by China, Russia, etc., and
To Glock.
and they're not sharing information, so they all think they might have the same thing, but it all might be slightly different. But nobody wants to admit they've got anything because everybody thinks they might have the upper hand. Do you know what
Have
I mean?
you- have
Because
you
what the
watched-
Americans are saying is not us, but it could well be the Americans. They just don't want to tell you it's a black project.
Have
so
you
therefore,
watched-
it could be aliens, it could be China, it could be Russia.
Have you watched the
Diversion.
new documentary that Stephen Greer put out this week on YouTube? I'm halfway through it. I've got to admit, we will do an episode on it. at some
I
point.
can
haven't
see,
yet.
I
I
can
haven't
see
yet.
Tom looking tentative. I'll be honest, I haven't watched it yet.
No, I've watched
I've
half
been
it.
very busy.
But after everything we've said about Grey, I will interject with this. And I do remember I messaged you boys and I was like, hang on, so this is on YouTube? And you were like, yeah. And I was
for
like,
free.
For free. This isn't like a rip. It's not like on Amazon for $9.99. This is free. And you were like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch this.
Stephen Greer is climbing in my estimations. He's
After
going,
watching the
yeah.
He was
documentary,
here.
I'm
No,
halfway
here we go.
through it. Okay, he talks about von Braun a lot.
Yeah.
Werner von Braun.
Talks about him a lot
Okay,
and about
Die
what he
Glocke.
said on his
Yeah,
deathbed
yeah.
and in the lead up. And
Yeah.
there's an interview with his assistant and what she was told by him, and it does tie in to what's happening and what they're telling us and the order in which they're telling us.
it's gonna annoy me.
It's quite frightening. I don't think we should go into it now because I think we will do an episode on that documentary and a follow up about Dr. Greer because we got such a backlash. Comments about our last time we talked about Dr. Greer. So I think we should sign this one off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Let us
basically,
know in the comments.
the report, nothing really came out,
No.
but the implications are huge. And Jeremy Corbell put some grainy footage out and then hyped it up as he is wont to do.
Thanks, Jeremy. Keep
so,
up the good work, buddy.
Yeah, let's follow it up.
So let's follow up, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think. We might have got it wrong. We might have got it right. Who knows? Let us know. And remember to
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon, yo.
thanks, everyone.
Cheers.